and commitment for this community, and Josh Griffith in the house of Josh Griffith Agency of Farmers Insurance.
Yep, correct.
Keith Smith has put this panel together. When this show starts at about 30 seconds, you'll see a fantastic group of guys here on the show, Keith.
You know, just four dudes sipping a cup of coffee or water, whatever we've got in our little containers there, and we're going to talk a couple of event that Christopher's sponsoring coming up here, and I want to talk a little bit of the tie-in between the insurance business and the real estate business, and move on from there.
Guys, give the show a like and a share. We're live on every social media platform known to mankind here on the I Love CVille network. This show, dynamic, we reached, what was it in 2021, Judah? A little over 253,000 unique IP addresses around Central Virginia, a little over 4 million in the Commonwealth, and 8 million unique IPs outside of the Virginia area and in the Virginia area and across the country and worldwide. The I Love CVille network every day is growing and booming. Judah, we can rock and roll, my friend, when you're ready. Guys, good Friday morning. I'm Jerry Miller, and welcome to Real Talk with Keith Smith on the I Love CVille network. Thank you kindly for joining us. We're live in Charlottesville, across Albemarle County, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world. Today's show is going to be dynamic. It's live, and it's your opportunity to interact with a panel of experts. In a matter of moments, you will see the best dressed agent in the Charlottesville Albemarle Association of Realtors. Every time he is on this show, I love to bill the guy and sing his praises. And that's Christopher Eagle. You will also meet a new friend of the network, and I love his energy and his commitment to the community, Josh Griffith. He has an agency in this community that's making a big-time impact, the Josh Griffith Agency of Farmers Insurance. We'll catch up with Josh, his commitment to the community in Greene, his commitment to the community in Central Virginia, and his passion for golf. Judah Wickhauer is our director. Keith Smith is the star of today's program. Judah, if we can go to the studio cam and the four-shot, my friend, and let's welcome three guys that are absolutely loving life on a Friday. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, I think star was a bit of a stretch on my end of it. There's a couple of rock stars sitting to my right and your left, and the fist bump. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I didn't even get past my intro thing, and we're already getting there. So, hey, we'll do our normal kickoff. So, Christopher, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll walk across the table to Josh.
Yeah, so I'm Christopher Eagle. I'm a realtor here in Charlottesville. I'm one of the, what's the term? Charter member. That's what it is. Charter member of Yes Realty Partners.
Hoorah.
I try to keep Keith in line, but that's pretty tough.
That ain't easy.
No, not
3 days a week.
You know, I was thinking about yesterday on how many people in my life actually do that for me. It's pretty large.
That ain't easy.
It's amazing how they treat me, Josh. It's horrible.
Yes,
We have that many people doing it. Maybe it's
Maybe
it's not them.
Just kidding. Thanks, Josh.
I guess as always, married to my beautiful wife who runs Chick-fil-A on Pantops, and she's a million times, more amazing than I am. I love Keith's term, you're better 7/8. I love that. So let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something different I haven't said before. I enjoy cooking. I'm a big fan of cast iron skillets.
Ooh.
And I like grilling a lot, so I'm going to go with that today.
So we need to talk about cast iron skillets a little bit later in the show. There's a whole process on curing them, and there's been a very much so debate in the Smith household about that. So later on, we'll talk a little bit about that.
Stephanie Wells Rhodes giving you guys some props.
What's up, Stephanie?
We love Stephanie and ISC, locally owned business, a home's best friend, ISC. Josh, the show is yours, my friend.
Show is mine. Let's see, Josh Griffith. I own the Farmers Insurance Agency right across the Albemarle Green line, right beside Anytime Fitness, Holiday Inn Express. In year 4 of that, in year 10 of doing insurance. So I love, obviously, the community. I do things differently. I do it right up front. I think I'm the best dressed insurance agent around, too.
The shirt is sharp.
The shirt is sharp. It's my UVA
brass.
homage
The
today.
collar's popping.
Collar's
You're looking good,
popping.
dude.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So if seeing me dressed up normally, but I do love to, as you say, golf. I do love my golf attire, my golf pants, and I have a huge shoe collection. I'm a huge sneakerhead. So I have a huge shoe collection, polos, all that good stuff. But let's see, what do I have? I have 2 kids, 16 and 12. What else? I do all kinds of things. I love social
cars?
media. I love cars. Yeah, we can talk cars. We can talk golf. Did a little Wells Fargo championship yesterday, which was super cool. Hung out with my good friend Rory. Not really. We're not really friends. He was there. I was there. He didn't know, but I knew he was there.
I think
but
he
yeah,
waved to you. I think I saw it.
He did. He
I
did
think I saw
wave.
it.
Ricky Fowler obviously was there. He's our
think
big
I saw
farmers
it.
guy, so
I
we
think I saw it.
give Ricky a lot of money.
He
was
played
there.
well.
He did play well yesterday.
Under
so
par.
Yeah, he did good. He had the.
How about that bogey where he dropped
impressive.
it from the fairway? Did you see the
I
highlight?
didn't see that.
It was
Awesome.
dynamite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did and then he did. Is that the one where he did the count?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
That was
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that was super cool. So yeah, Ricky's a cool guy. So we like Ricky. So he had the long hair, the shades, the mustache, the weird mustache going on. But he was there. It was cool.
You're getting props already, and Keith
Yeah.
will throw it to you. Nate Wilson says, "What up? What up? What
That's my
up?"
boy Nate. Yes.
The dynamic aspect of the show, guys, is you can leave your comments in the comment section. I will relay them live on air. Kevin Yancey giving us some props from Waynesboro. Chad Wood says, "Keith, is your house on the market yet?" From Crozet, Virginia. Let's sell that house.
Chad who?
Chad Wood.
Chad who? We're working on it, Chad. That is my standard deflection answer, and I think Chad and my wife are talking because that conversation is coming up far too regularly from my taste. So I'm going to do the classic pivot.
I like
Go.
it.
Christopher.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about this car show you two guys are putting together.
Yeah.
It sounds like we just made a little news to announce, and then we'll kind of move on from there.
Yeah, so originally we had we called the Seaville Classic Car Show. We were going to do that tomorrow. Unfortunately, as we can see out the window, it is raining. And we're a little hesitant on what the weather's going to do tomorrow. So we literally kind of right before the show pulled the plug, and we're actually postponing and pushing it back a week. So May 14th from 10 to 1 out at Stonefield in front of Mission Barbecue will be the Seaville Classic Car Show. And the big thing with that is that we are just benefiting the Albemarle County Police Foundation. So all the proceeds go to the foundation, and that's the kind of the big,
You have some personal connection to that because your father was.
Yeah, so my dad is actually a retired police officer from Albemarle County. He was there from 1987 to 1999. Unfortunately, my dad, his foot went one way and his knee went the other when they were walking through, I think it was a marijuana field back in the 90s. And so it tore his knee apart, 3 surgeries, a bunch of stuff. So he lost 55% mobility in his right knee. So he ended up having to take medical retirement. So definitely not the thing he was ever planning on doing, but that's just kind of how things happen. So for him, the thin blue line, and he's a blue blood through and through. So with that, we just wanted to be able to give back and to the guys that, and the women, the men and women that go out every day, put on the badge, put on the vest, and protect our community. And we just feel like they don't always get the most recognition. So why not put on an event of cars, which Josh and I are huge fans of, and just make the proceeds go back to the foundation to to benefit the men and women in blue.
Respect. God, that was awesome. Respect. We say this all the time on this network. We stand with the blue here. I don't understand the commentary or the narrative that's out there now of like knocking men and women that wear the badge. It makes absolutely no sense to me. What profession, when you leave the house, do you worry about coming home safely to your family and friends?
Yeah.
Besides blue, besides firefighters, besides EMTs, besides veterans. So let's champion these folks, please, folks.
So thank your dad for me for his service. As you know, my father, grandfather, great-grandfather, all New York City firemen, and we have a unique perspective, you and I, as a child of somebody who does, as Jerry said, they walk out the door, you never come back. Unless you've lived that, it's a very difficult thing to understand growing up, and the dynamics of the kitchen table discussions about that. So thank him for his service. So Josh, I've never been to a car show.
Yeah,
I haven't.
me either.
Oh well, but maybe this question may
not be for me. No, many car shows for
so
sure.
how about them Mets? No.
Yeah.
So somebody who's never been.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is. Tell me how it goes. Tell me what it's all about. Tell me the process.
Yeah, so the process is, I think everybody, men, women, work on the classic cars. I mean, you spend a ton of money, a ton of time, a ton of energy fixing up old cars, new cars. We do have some new cars that were coming too, some newer muscle cars too. So they spend a lot of money, spend a lot of time, whether it's a family heirloom that they want to restore, and they want to show it off. I think you come out, show it off, you sit, you talk. People come and interact with you on, what you've done to it, and all this gearheads, and I use that with the utmost respect because I'm not the most gear. You can tell me what the type of engine is, and I have no idea, but it just looks cool and how fast. I just want to know how fast it goes.
It's all about the looks and the speed.
It's all about the looks to me. Yeah. So how fast does it go in the look? Yeah. But you're judged. I mean, we had the cool part with our car show is that we were doing a Yes Realty Partners award. We're doing a Farmers Insurance award, and we were doing a Atlantic Coast Mortgage, which is the other guys that are helping us. And then we were going to do, I think we had two or three ACPD awards. So they were actually going to judge and say the most unique, the best car, the best, we had a bunch of categories, and we're still going to have a bunch of categories. So it's really cool just to go and be able to show off. The car community is huge. You've got people that have a Jeep. Like if you see a Jeep, you wave at a Jeep. Classic car, you wave at a classic car. Harley, you wave at the Harley. So I think it's a good community of for people just to come and just enjoy the day. Look, we all want to get out. We've all been living through this craziness of the last, what are we on, 2.5 years almost? Or a little over 2 years. Crazy. And just be able to get out. The whole parking lot was going to be open. We had spots for 55 cars. So here's my plug. I won't tell you how many cars were coming tomorrow, but we have room for more. Yep. So if you have classic cars, muscle cars, modern muscle, register, go on the site, register. We'd love to have you. We've got the space. And just come hang out with us. I mean, Chris and I won't be dressed like this. Will you be dressed like that? No, we're not going to be dressed like this, but it's just a.
But you're going to be awesome, though.
But we are going to be awesome. That happens every day when we wake up.
Okay, we're done with you.
I love this guy. I love Josh.
Well, and unlike Josh, I can speak car specific, so I'm more than happy to specifically.
Well, then
why
don't you pick up the conversation on that? So there'll be food. Tell us about the rest of the event.
Yeah, so I mean, the idea is just everybody would, if you have the car and you want to bring it out, then, of course, you park and hang out, sit by your car, walk around, talk to other people. You may already know some other people that are out there. The other idea that we had was hopefully to have a few people from the Albemarle County Police Department, so then to build the community engagement between the department and just the civilians, so we can kind of bridge that gap that's going on. And then really you would see Josh and myself, a couple other people, probably from Yes Realty Partners. Atlantic Coast Mortgage is sponsoring the trophies and the judging, so they'll be out there. Really cool. Chris Stiltner is one of the guys from Atlantic Coast Mortgage. He's a big car guy as well. So, yeah, and food-wise, I mean, we've talked to Mission, and Mission's willing to kind of, I think, give out some sandwich cards. Yep. So, and then Chick-fil-A also was sponsoring some sweet tea and lemonade and coffee. So I know everybody is big lemonade and sweet tea fans from the old Chick-fil-A.
Well, if Chick-fil-A is in any way managing this, in any way, shape, or form, this is going to be awesome because those guys can pull off some stuff.
Well, so you're looking at us as managing it, so I don't know, it should be fine. But
they're just going to come and set it out.
Yes, call my wife, and they'll probably be even better. So,
so I've been meaning to ask an insurance person this question forever.
Okay.
So what's up with the commercials?
Right? Our commercials?
No, just
insurance in general.
I love your commercials.
Yes,
these are great commercials, but Geico and all this stuff. Why? I don't understand why insurance went to the funny commercials. What's the
because of what's happening right now? We're talking
about it. Yeah, I'll address Jerry's comment. Yes, our commercials are by far the best.
Of course,
I will say that. I will also say that all of those, we've kind of pivoted from the seen a thing or two. those claims are real. Those are real claims. As crazy as those things sound, they are real claims that Farmers has paid out.
It's a
not
great
made up.
campaign.
Great campaign.
Yeah.
Professor Burke, great campaign. We're switching a little bit of that, obviously, to kind of move towards the local agency piece where we all actually own our agency. So the difference from you can't get a farmer's quote unless you get it from a farmer's agent, that's true. So you can't go to a broker and get a farmer's quote. Insurance in general, the commercials, the insurance industry, I think, is making insurance a commodity when it's not a commodity. It's
Well,
almost
that's-
like you can
that's
walk
the
and
point
pull it
I'm
off.
literally
right,
trying to get
pulling
to.
it off the. You can get this home and auto coverage off the shelf. It's not a box. It's not you can't just buy it. It's not a one size fits all. And I think having a great agent like myself, they will, no, just kidding. But having a good agent in general that can explain the process, explain the coverage, explain to you pitfalls in claims process or pitfalls in what, your bodily injury limits are, state minimums or your liability on your homeowners, anything like that, that's huge. The normal average Joe that tries to bind their own coverage online has no idea what they're
So
talking about.
that's Josh. That's literally the point I wanted to try to get to. So we talk about on the show all the time, trusted advisors, right, Christopher? So I'm trying to tie our two industries together in this conversation. The reality of it is, people can look on Zillow or whatever it is to find houses, but for the most part, they're going to reach out to a trusted advisor to do that. So, are we seeing that in your industry? That pivot changing a little bit back from? Does that make any sense? The question.
It does make sense, and I think that's where people need to be. You put insurance into this other category, or people do. Unless I'm a professional day trader, I'm going to find a financial advisor. Unless I have my realty license or I can do it on Zillow, I'm going to reach out to a realtor. Same thing with insurance. You've got to know somebody you have to have somebody that you trust that has your best interest at heart for insurance. And I think most certainly you need to have an agent. If it's not me, get a good one. Get a good one that doesn't care about the premium per se, that cares about you as the person, your family, your boat, your house, your life insurance, all of those things. You've got to have that. Insurance has to fit in that category. You don't go through I'll use it a divorce or a DUI, something where you have to go to court. You don't go by yourself. You call an attorney. Insurance agents have to fit in that mold as well, to where you call a trusted advisor as well.
So we talk about this all the time at Yes Realty Partners. We're not about transactions, we're about relationships. So Christopher, jump in from that perspective on the relationship part of it and how you two guys work together.
Yeah, so I think that's the relationship part's how Josh and I met originally. This was a couple years back, and we connected just to get coffee. So, the relationships that I build with clients and other people that I know in the community, same thing for Josh. We wanted to be able to connect and talk about our businesses and how we could help each other. And then over time, I've been able to send him some clients of mine so he could at least quote them. And then vice versa, he sent me some clients of his that are looking at buying or selling. And so we both know that if I send them to Josh, they're going to be taken care of. And the same thing on my end. And then, for us, it not only was the business relationship that developed, but then for the two of us, a friendship developed. Now we're really good friends, and we play golf all the time, and we do different things, and we've seen Dave Matthews Band together. Like, we've done a bunch of different stuff. He was at our wedding. So yeah, that's yeah, I think you were. Yeah.
Did he give you a good gift?
Yes, I don't remember what it was now though.
I don't remember what it was either.
It was a good gift.
Yeah, it was good though. Yeah.
So at this point,
It was the
no
best
doubt.
toaster ever. You guys still have that
still
toaster.
use
You
it,
still
yeah.
use that toaster today. It was the cast
I like
iron skillet.
Josh.
I gave him the
like
cast
this
iron
guy.
skillet.
it was something from like 1982.
I like this guy.
It was a re-gift. It was a re-gift.
Josh has got the gift of gab. He's very likable. Erica Schultz is giving you props.
What's up, Erica? That's my friend Erica, who I love dearly, from Wisconsin. She's checking in.
You have 4 states on the show. Corey Washington, Kayla Klauser, Dwayne Britton, all giving you props.
Yeah, hey, it's all
we
my-
got
all my
Christopher
people.
Eagle getting some props from Diana Butler Peterson.
Yeah.
The fabulous Yona Smith, the Better
Ooh,
7/8.
Better 7/8.
She loves the farmers commercials, she
Yeah.
says. And she
I'm trying to
thinks
be on. I need to be on one.
the farmers commercials are dynamite.
Yes.
I think of all of them, they are the most elevated and creative. It's not like, and I'm not going to mention any competitors out there, it's not like slapstick by some of the competitors. Yours are elevated, creative, thoughtful.
Substance.
Yeah. So talk to us about the favorite aspects of the job. I can already see the people connection for you.
Yeah, I'm a people person. I
can
think
tell.
that's you can tell that. The biggest thing for me is honestly the relationship piece. I think that I'm a control freak, which is great at times, and at times it's not so great. But I know everybody in my book of business. I love the fact that it's a personal connection. They all get my cell phone, which sometimes is a blessing and a curse, but I want to be accessible. If you reach out to me on email, you reach out to me on the phone, you reach out to me on text, I think that's huge. I mean, in the industry where you kind of hand everything over to me, home, auto, life, kids, business, all of those things that we do, like, hey Josh, here, I trust you to take care of it. But I love the problem solving piece of it. Hey, Josh, I don't have as much coverage. I had a horrible claims experience. What can you do? And here's the thing, all of our commercials, as you talk about, we're all about claims. That's when you really find out what you're paying for. Hey, and I hate the question and I love the question. Hey, do you have cheap insurance? No, I don't have cheap insurance. Is any insurance cheap? That's all relative until you have a claim. Then you could be paying X number of dollars more a month, but when you have a claim and we come through, then that price is irrelevant. So I think that for me is the best part, is just the relationship and just the connection. It allows me to do a whole lot of things in the community, in Greene and Charlottesville, with clients, with friends, with sponsorship, with the nonprofits. It allows me to do all of those things. And just connecting with people. I think Charlottesville's and I think, Jerry, you say it all the time, Charlottesville's very local. It's not just a local town, it's a local town. So you can build a reputation or you can crash a reputation in a matter of minutes, in a matter of seconds, and I don't take that lightly. And everybody gets treated the same. That's what I love about what we do. And what Chris said, the professional piece, hey, Chris, you take it. Hey, it's my person. They want to talk about a house. Hey, I give it to you and it's off my plate per se, and Chris can take that over, and I trust that they're taken care of and building those relationships.
But at what point does Christopher reach back out to you in the process, right? So Christopher just wrote a contract, right? He's helping me with the buy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Well, that's for me.
Oh,
This is a made-up scenario.
Keith.
Yeah. I was like, I don't have it all. I was like, man, I was
Fishing for a
What does
compliment
Keith
over
know
there.
that you don't know? Yeah. Congratulations, Keith.
Good job, Keith.
I was trying to do an example.
Good work, Keith.
Sit here, trying to be a broadcaster. I'm working on it. So
I knew what you're doing.
Let's try this again.
Yes.
Christopher is helping me as a buyer client to write a contract. So when is Christopher should, at the best point, suggest to me you need to reach out to Josh? At what point in time is that?
I think it's going to be based on, from you guys and even on mine, I think it's a certain part in that process. Hey, this is what we need for your mortgage lender. Hey, who are you using for your mortgage? It's generally the mortgage officer that would do that per se, but I think realtor in that process can certainly do the same thing. Hey, you have to get your funding, you've got to get insurance on it, they'll take care of these things. So I think it's, hey, do you have a guy? Or, hey, Josh, do you know somebody that's listening? Do you know any realtors? Yes, I certainly do. Hey, here's my guy. Sorry for all of you that are watching that we're friends that you're a realtor. I have too many of those, which is great. But
you're sitting next to him.
As I'm sitting next to him.
There's a lot of realtors
There's
out
a lot
there.
of realtors on.
Yeah.
But I think in that process, I think it's based on the client. Hey, who's your client? Hey, you need to call. Make sure you call Josh. Hey, make sure you call Chris. Hey, make sure you call. I think it's just it's case by case scenario of when that conversation comes up. And a lot of times it's the mortgage officer too, but I think you start with the realtor. That's that baseline. Hey, these are the things you need to do. This is my guy for this. This is my guy for that. This is my gal for this. This is my guy for that.
So, Christopher, when do you introduce that conversation? Early or a little bit later?
I try to
on?
do it early on. I like to kind of nip things in the bud early on in the process. So, and the other thing too is that some people, depending on what insurance they have, it can be cheaper when they're bundling and doing all those different things. So I say, if you already have insurance and maybe already talked to you have, and if not, or you're looking to shop around, then let's start having those conversations. Here's Josh's contact information. Talk to him. He'll take care of you. It's still their decision at the end of the day.
Yep.
But I try to kind of introduce those things a little bit early on in the process so we can really figure things out.
So, Christopher, we have weekly conversations at Yes Realty Partners. We have monthly one-on-ones. So how are you seeing the market out there, my friend?
The market's interesting right now.
That word says 1,000 words. Interesting how.
Well, I think that we are getting closer, at least to kind of going into the seasonal real estate. So we still have May to get through, and we still have June. But I definitely think we're going to see kind of that slowdown for the summertime. People going on vacation, people kind of pulling back, and then we're also seeing the interest rates just increasing steadily. And I think that's definitely starting to play with a certain buyers in the market right now and knocking them out. And then the tax rate also plays into that as well. So, I mean, from my standpoint, it's still fast and rapid when it comes to the houses coming on the market, but then also, kind of been doing some deep dives, really looking for some homes for clients, and inventory is still limited, but there are still a few homes that have been sitting way longer than I think some people would have expected. And it's interesting. And like this week so far, like I'm of course watching, but I don't know if it's Mother's Day that's playing a factor, but I personally feel for some of my buyer clients that there isn't a lot coming on like this weekend so far, but it is only early Friday morning. So
But doesn't it feel like the tempo's picking up a little bit the last 30 days, plus or minus?
Yeah.
How so?
It's just a vibe. It's hard to explain it. It just
Exactly.
seems like there's a vibe, particularly from the buyer side, out there. They're a little bit more. Let me try it this way. They're less deflated, right? They feel like they have an opportunity to win. And we're going to talk a little bit about this on Monday, about some ideas on how you can beat cash out there in the market. Josh, from your end of it, you do a lot of homeowners policies for purchases. Are you seeing an uptick or downtick?
Is this your best year yet?
Mine? No. I'll say last year was during COVID.
Your best year.
My
Clear
last-
cut.
Clear cut.
Wow.
Clear cut.
Same with you.
Yeah.
Same with him.
Yep. I think it's insurance is one of those things. I don't know that we have a season. Now, obviously, with the homeowners and with the bundle, as you talked about, which is huge, the spring market, but especially with the housing market, the way it's been the last year and a half, 2 years, even with COVID, it's just, some days I'm, making tons of phone calls and sending lots of emails, and some days all I do is sit there and quote because of what's coming in. Generally, the first 2 weeks of the year are the busiest for us, because everybody's gotten through Christmas, first of the year. I'm gonna start going to the gym. I need to save money. I spend too much money. I'm gonna quote all my insurance. That's generally what that happens that first 2 weeks. This year wasn't like that.
Explain
kinda
that.
weird.
Explain that.
Explain why?
I
don't know.
Wherever you want to take it. I don't know. Josh, obviously you got the gift of gab, so how would you explain that?
I can explain that this year, because generally that you come back on that, whatever that is, the second or the third, depending on your work schedule. You come back and it's literally nonstop for 2 weeks or 3 weeks with people. Hey, I want to quote this. Hey, I'm looking to save money. Hey, I'm looking to save money. I spent too much on Christmas.
So could that be possibly from the new tax assessments come out?
Yeah.
My house is a little bit more, my monthly payment's a little bit higher. Hey, Josh, help me out here.
Yeah.
What do
I
I
think
have?
it's just New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolution too.
Really?
I think it's all of those things. It's like, hey, I need to save money. What's the easiest and quickest way for me to save money right now?
Yeah.
It's to move my homeowner's insurance and my auto insurance, because I pay that monthly. So if I'm paying X number of dollars and I want to save money next month and I need to save it right now, boom, then I need to change. So I think that it's but like I said, I get calls on the weekends where sometimes I don't. People are shopping on the weekends. People are shopping online. A lot of online leads where people are going on my website, which I'm sure you guys do too. Hey, I'm looking for this house. And we have all those algorithms that pull all of those things too, so we all see that. But 2 and 3 in the morning, I'm getting leads, or weekends,
And
Saturdays,
you're up working, I
Sundays,
bet you.
I don't sleep much, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I get about 5 hours of sleep a night, 4.5.
That's me
So,
too. Is your business tied to inventory and real estate transactions?
No. I will say this, with the rates being low and people selling, obviously the refi game has been huge. So that's a constant. So that service work stuff of, hey, Josh, I refied with the same lender. Hey, I did this, I did that.
But I think you're going to see the refis taper off,
Yep.
if not go.
Yep, they'll end up going away. It's crazy. And in our world too, a lot of the stuff it's not just selling, it's that service work stuff. So Chris and Ashley are refining their house. Well, I have their homeowner's insurance. Well, hey, that we're moving from I won't mention any, I don't know if we sponsorship banks or not, moving from one bank to the other. So, hey, Josh, hey, here's my new info. Here's my closing date. Just like a purchase, it's the same way on the other end. So there's constant.
So I literally was just going to ask you that question next, of how that actually works. So
Yep.
if I'm buying house A and moving to house B, how does that
Yeah,
work?
so it's, generally I deal with the homeowner generally connects me with their lender and closing agent or title company, and it's, hey, here's the closing date, here's the new mortgagee clause. So it's an update, it's a cancel, it's changing mortgagee clause. I mean, we call it's service work, but to us, for me, it's another opportunity to have a conversation. If it's a new purchase or a refi, and I just have their house, hey, why are we not doing your auto insurance? You're losing money on this bundle. Hey, I love the house. It's just another touch point for us. It's another piece of that relationship to continue. So it's fun stuff.
Dan Pettit, for Christopher, do you have, are you losing clients, or are clients stepping out of the market because they don't have homes at their price points?
I'd say for one or two, we're probably getting close, just depending on things, but we're still at an okay point with the interest rate, and we're doing the fly or drive so you qualify type of thing, and then with the low inventory, it's just making it a little bit tougher. But as of right now, we're still okay. But that's why I think there's some urgency with some buyers to try and find something quicker than later because of the interest rate rise.
That's what I meant by tempo.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by tempo. Are you seeing a little bit more cash in the market with conversations you're having? And I don't mean cash buyers as 100%, but are you seeing, we talked about on the show all the time that 20% wasn't the normal down payment rule. It's looking to me we're getting closer. We're coming back to that 20%. Are you seeing that out there?
Yeah, I'm seeing that a little bit. Definitely seeing with people have a little bit bigger pockets, more cash in their pockets, and a few clients also talked about putting a little bit bigger earnest money deposits down, or just saying, look, we want the house. This is what we can do, and this is how much we're willing to put down, whether it's down payment or earnest money deposit. So, people are. I would say buyers are intelligent and understanding that they've got to put their best foot forward in order to hopefully win the multiple offer game when it comes to that house they're trying to get.
So when you're talking to buyer clients, is the conversation more about what my monthly payment is going to be, not so much the interest rate? And I mean, I know they all tie together, but it just seems like, for me anyway, they're like, okay, well, I want to stay around this monthly payment. So are you hearing a lot of that conversation out there?
Yes, absolutely, and especially for the first-time home buyer. I think that's like the biggest thing for them, and that's most of the conversations of, if it's X amount, then we're paying this amount, but we don't want to go over, whatever it is, because we also have to pay for, car payment and whatever else you're paying for in your everyday life. And then, of course, inflation is also there too.
Oh, yeah.
So people are slowly factoring that stuff in too, because you got to be able to eat and pay for gas to get to work and all that stuff. So yeah, I think the monthly payment is probably the biggest.
So
the biggest
that's what my
conversation.
tie-in between you two gentlemen is because that's the reason why I want to reach out to Josh early in the process, going, okay, look, I want to be at X, right? Josh, I need insurance. I know I can't afford the Cadillac or the Mercedes or whatever, or the 1966 Camaro SS, right? That's
They didn't make a Camaro in '66, just so you know.
69, actually.
I love Christopher. Is that true?
Yes, they
He's
didn't
right.
start,
He's
they didn't
100%
start
right.
making the Camaro until '67, so that's the first year. that
He's
Camaro came
100%
out.
right, because I used to own a 69 SS.
Really?
And, yeah, but I was
396 big block?
396.
Four-speed or
Four
automatic?
speed.
So
yeah.
Muncie 4-speed? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I bought it in 1890 when I
No
was
idea what they're
18
talking about.
when I was 18 years old.
Kevin Yancey for Josh. Chrome won't get you home. Chrome don't get you home. So he's basically saying it's more than just the look of the car over there. It's what under the hood matters. Kevin Yancey from Waynesboro.
True story.
Yeah.
Definitely true.
Christy
Yeah,
Lynn Beck is giving you guys some props. Welcome to the program, Christy Lynn Beck. Josh has got a lot of questions coming in.
Let's hear it.
So Josh, this is coming in from multiple people, and Corey Washington giving you props.
What's up, Corey?
What is the most common or popular type of insurance that you sell? And then the second question is, which type of insurance drives the most profit for an agency owner?
Ooh, We're getting into the nitty
The nitty gritty right
yeah.
there, Josh.
I think
the viewers and listeners are smart.
Yes, they are. They are. Yeah, I say auto is always that's generally what drives that gets quoted the most, because like I said before, that's an instant savings or an instant fix. Homeowners, obviously, we bundle. Bundling's huge, regardless of if you have farmers or who your agent is. If you're not bundling, you're leaving money on the table, point blank.
Why is that?
Well, it's all about having it's all about, we call it sticky. They're sticky clients. So if you're just doing a homeowner's policy and the only discount you have is none because you don't have the auto, you're missing out on one. For the homeowners, that's your mortgage payment. So if you can save $300 a year by bundling your auto, that's $30 a month on your mortgage.
So that's why I'm
your
tying this
DTI.
conversation
Right.
in.
Yep. So that's your debt to income ratio. That $30 for some people can make or break their deal if their income is tight for the house. So auto probably drives that. That's easy. That's the commodity piece we talked about too, is you can just go and let's just pull it off the shelf and I can write it myself or I can call somebody to get it. Auto kind of drives that. I would say, depending on the insurance company or the agency, commercial business is kind of what fuels all that. We do a ton of commercial business. I love commercial business. My first year I started with Farmers, so then 2019. I wrote the second most commercial premium and policies in the state, and the only person that wrote more is my good friend that's down in Roanoke, and he's been doing it for 15 years with Farmers, so he has huge contacts in the commercial world. So commercial business, I love that. There are a lot of agents that are scared to write commercial business. It's like, seeing an attorney walking down let's see, since we're on the downtown mall, an attorney walking on or somebody in a suit. That's intimidating to some people because what do they do? What's their profession? Whatever. Same thing in my world. People don't want to touch a business owner for insurance because they're scared.
Why is that? Yeah. I don't get that.
To me, I don't understand it because I'm
It's a more sophisticated, I don't want to put anybody down, but it's a more sophisticated customer.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. And
it's a better ROI for you, too.
And it's ROI, but it's also, for me, I'm an independent business owner too, so I would much rather talk to somebody that speaks my language. So I can speak, hey, do I need work comp insurance? Yeah, do you have 3 or more employees in the state of Virginia? You need work comp. Hey, what do I need liability? Do I need spoilage for my restaurant? All of those things that I would much rather, sorry for my people that aren't business owners, I would much rather talk to a business owner client as not to do their business, but a one-off, have a relationship and conversation with them. We speak more.
Yeah.
We speak the same language.
So I'm a recovering building developer. Used to own 5 businesses at one time.
Mm-hmm.
My insurance agent, I spent more time talking to than my accountant and my attorney. How we're doing now, it was in the building line of business, so comps are very complicated, and where is the roofer percentage going, whatever, so forth and so on. But we'd have once a month sit down.
Yeah.
Here's my numbers. This is where I'm at. Because most folks don't know, at least in the contract, and when you get at the end of the year and you get looked at, and if you're not set up right, and particularly in your liability, you can write huge checks at the end of the year.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you when you're dealing with the business owners, like take me for instance, I understand the concept of value, so I'm not just price shopping.
Yep.
I'm shopping tied to service. So I don't mind paying more for something that's going to yield results for me.
Yeah.
It's not the commodity for me. So I would think that would be another benefit with dealing with the business owner as well.
Yeah. Well, I do a lot of stuff too with those business owners. So in my restaurants that I have, I follow their page. I'll like their page. Hey, thanks so much for coming on board. This restaurant. Like I have restaurants in Green that I would eat at every day if I had the funds and the time and I could go to the gym after that. But like
You're doing all right.
I'm doing all right now. Thank you. But supporting them in other ways than just, hey, I'm your insurance agent. Thanks for your money. It's, hey, you're going to see me in your restaurant. You're going to see me, my chiropractor. I insure them. And now I'm a client of theirs and we have a great relationship, or shop, retail, or, whatever that may be. That is a relationship. I would much rather spend my money, my advertising, my sponsorship dollars with a local business owner or a local nonprofit than I would to go to a chain restaurant. If I'm going to go to a mom and pop restaurant, or I could go to sorry, Chick-fil-A is different, but I can't use Chick-fil-A. But go to, you know, Applebee's, or go to, you know, something is a national chain. I'd much rather do that locally. And like you said, I would rather pay more for the service or for the relationship than skimp on coverage.
We all do that. We prefer local.
Yeah.
We buy local.
Yep.
We promote local because, you know, that's where the rubber meets
For
the
sure.
road. Get a little bit back to real estate. I've got the CAR first quarter report in front of me, and I'm going to talk a little bit about your home county, Greene County, here in a minute. I'll let you two guys jump into it. The first quarter of this year versus the first quarter of last year, Greene County won. It only had a negative 3% of number of sales. So in other words, in 2021, you had 69 transactions in the first quarter versus 67. Something like my home county, which is Fluvanna County, we had a negative 25%. Wow. So why is it? Why do you think you guys had a more units sold quarter over quarter? What do you think that is, Christopher?
I think because Greene is
Price point.
It's still growing, and there's an attraction to Greene. There's always, I think, for a number of clients that I talk to or have, there's always Ruckersville is always a thing that comes up in conversation, and then Ruckersville and
How so?
Well, it's still the price is still. I would say it's cheaper or less usually compared to Albemarle County, and then it's still, I don't know the distance, but from Ruckersville to get into Albemarle County is not that far.
No.
So quarter over quarter, last year it was 312,000. This year is 335.
Yeah.
That's a 7% increase. My county actually had the least amount of units sold, but the highest increase of around 24%,
Wow.
jumping from 270 to 330, 35.
That's a big jump.
So, you know, we talk about this all the time on the show, and we'll throw it out to you two guys because you're out in the field all the time. Where do you see the next hotspots in this region? Where do you see the next Lake Monticello? Where do you see the next Crozet, thank you. Next Crozet.
I mean, I think Ruckersville there's still some development stuff there. Obviously, northern Albemarle, right there, you know, North Point, all of that. I mean, I think it's just going to, I guess, it's going to just merge into one here before long. But
So how do you feel about Standardsville? I think Standardsville is the next one in Greene County.
I mean, I think there's, so I do a lot, obviously, Standardsville near the schools and that. There's the real estate out there, land-wise, you've kind of got to push out a little bit. I think
Sure.
you go towards, you know, there's a few farms that are kind of waiting to, you know, to be developed. They're there, but in the town of Standardsville, I mean, you've got that whole 33 corridor that's, you know, there's open space there. Why?
Significant.
You know, significant, right there in front of Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
That huge plot of land, and I can't remember exactly how much of that. It's been for sale for a long time.
So
you've got them near Walmart, Lowe's, and you continue to go on through Standardsville that way.
Standardsville spent a lot of money several years ago for the streetscape. I was part of it on the Planning District Commission.
Yep.
And I think they really kind of wanted to set that up for that kind of thing. And then anybody who's never been out to Standardsville, go out there, do yourself a favor, and when it's not raining, take a walk along the sidewalk. It is really, they've done a really awesome job. And so how do you feel about Standardsville?
I think Standardsville is great. I've definitely had a bunch of clients that we've looked at property there. I think I've sold one or two out there in the Standardsville. There's a couple good subdivisions out there as well. I mean, I think it just comes down to, do you like that area and location personally? I mean, I think it's a great place. I think you could probably jump into Standardsville probably still while it's, I would say, lower in cost, and then just watch your appreciation only increase over time. Because I think Greene County is only going to continue to grow. I think Greene and Louisa are probably the two that I would see kind of grow. I know Louisa's trying to do stuff, and like Zions Crossroads is really trying to get stuff going, and they're, you know, figuring stuff out. So I think between those two, and maybe, I don't know, you throw Gordonsville in there maybe.
Yeah, so for those who know, watch the show, know I belong to the Thomas Jefferson Planning District Commission. At the meeting last night, we were talking about the Verde grant, which is coming from the state. There's going to be roughly $80 million, and this is for broadband. And Greene County is very committed and it's going to get a big chunk of that. So you're going to be seeing in your county very shortly. Won't be as, shout out to Jesse Rutherford. It won't be as good as Nelson County's because it's all about Jesse Rutherford.
Right.
But it's you're going to be seeing some internet here pretty quickly.
Wesley Hernandez giving you guys some props. Josh has got a lot of questions coming in here. So this is from Dan. First, Kim Delaney's giving you props.
What's up, Kim?
Says great support. Josh is great at supporting his local community. He's one of the consigners at Kim's Consignment Boutique. Loves Greene County and is a great guy to work with. This question's a good one. How have the increase in personal property values and personal property taxes impacted insurance on vehicles and personal property?
Yeah, I think that's. I think it's when you get in an accident and we have to fix the vehicle, prices of parts claims right now for auto is insane, and it's not just the body shops that are backed up, but you can't find the parts. Now they're more expensive, so then insurance rates are going to rise. You got, I think there's 429, if I remember correctly, and it's probably changed now, different factors that go into an auto quote. 429. So people are like, oh, well, so I'm male or female, this is my age, this is my driving history, why is my insurance the way it is? Well, there's more things than just that. So it's the vehicle, it's the safety features, it's, the number of claims, it's the county, it's the population, it's the roads. I mean, there's all of those things that go in there. So, I think personal property values on your vehicles, your RVs, your motorcycles, things like that, as that continues to increase and parts continue to increase, you're going to see an influx on rates. I mean, we've all taken rates, and I say we as in the insurance industry has all taken rates. We actually dropped rates along with a couple others in the country during COVID. We were giving people a percentage back because of the way the economy was. We dropped rates. Farmers took a rate decrease on auto twice in 2020. 2 rate decreases. Now that's going to start to tick back up just like everybody else has because people are now back on the roads where more people out and about, more people driving, accidents, personal property values, cost to do business in general across the board as we all live life. And insurance is no different than that.
Do you think people's vehicles are underinsured right now because of the spike in values of the used car market? And are they even aware of this?
I don't think they're aware. I think so your auto insurance is going to be replacement value. So whatever that does to the market, that's on the insurance company. So if my car is worth $20,000 today, but it's worth $25,000 tomorrow, the insurance company, hey, we're going to have to replace that.
But because of that, your insurance rates are going to go up.
But because of that, your insurance rates are going to go up. What people are underinsured on is their liability.
Okay.
State minimums, as you guys know. So the 25, 50, 20 that everybody always thinks about. $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident, $20,000 property damage. That just increased this year in the state of Virginia. So now it's 30, 60, 25.
That's not going to get you anywhere.
That's not going to get you anywhere. Yeah. I won't write that. That's one of my non-negotiables. I don't write anything lower than 100, 300, 50. So $100,000 per person, $300,000 per accident, and $50,000 property damage. You hit, I don't know what Keith drives. Maybe that, if you had that your old 67, 68.
69.
It'd be 69.
$50,000 right now.
If I told you I sold that for $1,000, somebody would shoot me at this table like an idiot.
Hold on.
Well, when did you sell it though?
1980.
Well, see, that's the hard part. Is back then nobody knew. There's a lot of guys that would be kicking themselves.
What's that worth now?
Oh.
A 69 Camaro Super Sport 396.
Cherry mint?
Oh, no, it wasn't cherry or mint, but it was in good condition.
Well, I mean, and if Keith hadn't done anything to it and still had the original motor, original tranny, and I mean, you're only replacing a few things, I mean, shoo-wee.
60, 70
Yeah, I would say
grand.
you're probably at 60, 70 grand probably.
I just may or may not have looked that up.
Yeah.
Knowing that was going to come up. So, Josh, I want to make sure I got this right.
Yeah.
So in real estate, right, I have my house tax assessment just went up.
Yep.
I'm going to get a lovely letter saying that my escrow just went up because my insurance just went up to do that. I get the same lovely letter from the county that my vehicle, my 2017 Tacoma, so that that's what I drive, just went up on it. I'm going to get a letter from my insurance gal saying, Okay, great.
No,
I just want to make sure I understand.
No, you're gonna get that. If you get an increase or decrease, it's gonna happen at renewal. And again, you're gonna take all of those different factors, just as if when you first started, it's gonna go in and spit out that figure.
Can I get an auto insurance for more than 1 year? Can I
No.
write? Yeah, so,
Nope. You can do a 6-month policy or a year.
got it.
I won't give I'll give the insider scoop.
Please.
Why? I'll give the insider scoop of why some people write a 6-month policy and why some people write a year.
I would love to hear that.
You wanna
Oh,
hear
do
that?
tell.
You want to do tell that?
Yeah.
I'm probably giving away all the insurance agents that are listening are like, oh no. If Professor Burke's on, he's probably not. But so 6-month policy. Corporately, company wants you to write a 6-month policy because if Jerry gets in an accident or has a ticket or all that, we as the insurance company can
Bump the
jack
rates.
his rates up for
Yeah.
after 6 months.
Sure.
If I write Jerry for a year,
It's sticky for 365.
right,
Yeah.
then nothing changes until we go a year. So depending on who you are, depending on the insurance, how you do it, I like to write a year. That's just me. But the drawback sometimes to that is it may be a little more than the double 6-month rate because you've kind of got to. We'll put it in there for you of, hey, you might be $600 for 6 months, and instead of $1,200 for a year, it may be $1,250. But you're stuck for that year. So regardless of what happens in that year, we can't increase your rates after, if you had it in month 5, you may get that increase in month 7, as opposed to waiting again until, 7 more months. So insider scoop, I always like to write a year.
That's great knowledge.
For the client, not for the, I'll let
Let's-
farmers deal with that. Like
Well, it's because you're relationship based.
Correct.
Right, just like Christopher is, just like Jerry
Yes.
is, just like
Yep.
everybody and that's part of
That's what
this.
we do.
That's what we do. So new construction, guys. I brought some notes because I wasn't sure where we were going to go today, and so new construction actually in Albemarle County, quarter over quarter, has actually increased the number of sales. Right. So talk to me about writing. Christopher and I are representing a new construction client. Talk to me about that from an insurance perspective.
Yeah, I mean, rates are super low with all insurance companies across the board for new construction. I mean, nobody's lived in it. It's passed all the inspections. You have a new roof. I mean, generally in a home,
So my policy potential, my monthly rate would be less.
should be super cheap. Yeah, for new construction because all of everything's brand new. There should be nothing happening. You also have a warranty with the builder potentially. You're not worried about having an older roof and wind taking off shingles and water getting in. Plumbing issues, all of those things. So we generally for farmers we're 7 years and newer for the roof, which fits into that new construction. You're 7 years. Our rates are crazy, stupid low, just because we're discounting you for having that quote unquote new roof, which is generally where all of the claims come from. So new construction is amazing, and I think we're seeing a lot of that. Obviously, North Point, those houses are going up quickly.
Yeah.
So quickly. But any new
Not as
construction,
fast as they'd like to, though.
oh yeah, I'm sure they want it to go. I mean, I think I last looked, there's 12.
Yeah,
14 that are under construction right now. I mean, that's
there's a
crazy.
backlog of
Yep.
So Christopher, this is an interesting piece of information, right? So to help Christopher and I out and the real estate agents that are watching it, my home, I just put a brand new roof on it, right? Just brand new 40, I think it was a 50-year roof on it. Should I be calling my agent?
Absolutely, I would. For me, that's one of those
Or
things.
maybe I
that-
should be calling you.
Because
maybe
it's
you
lower rates.
Yeah, you should be calling me.
Hey,
That's a
Josh has my insurance.
Yeah,
so-
we got Chris's. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for us is, and I always ask people, hey, older house, obviously, 10, 15, 20 years. Hey, when's the last time you had a new roof? When's the last time the HVAC was replaced? Plumbing, electrical, any of those things that are older. So if you've got that new roof, for you, if you had a farmer's policy now, Josh, hey, I just put the roof on. Great. Keith, send me the proof of, whether you had a contractor do it, the supply list, whatever. It's going into farmers, hey, brand new roof, updated new roof 2022. That discount comes off immediately, which is so cool, I think. So
anything other than roof? If I put a new HVAC system in,
no, that's not going to,
got it.
right. Yeah, you're not going to be, you're not going to get the discount for the HVAC or for the plumbing or electrical. You are going to get it for the new roof.
So the reason Christopher and I are asking all these questions is back to this everybody's focusing on the monthly payment scenario. So anything from your side of the house to do that, we provide for our clients 210 warranties on all our. Is there a discount if somebody has a 210 warranty?
No.
Okay.
No. And we do those too, so we'll provide those too. The 210 is a great one. We use American Home Shield, I think, kind of the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get a warranty or have a warranty provided for you, a lot of, realty companies, realtors provide those for that first year. It's just I think that's huge. That's another piece of that relationship of saying, hey, first year, first 2 years, whatever that is, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this for you. So that if something does happen, you're taken care of. If something does happen, generally most of those things are covered by insurance, but it's those small things that are like, well, that's not covered or it doesn't meet my deductible. The warranty comes in and takes care of that. And then who's the hero is
Christopher.
Is the
'Cause he
hero.
is a hero.
Because he is a hero.
He wears a
is-
cape.
I do
he
what I
does.
can.
He's a superhero.
He wears underneath his jacket is always a cape.
Yes.
Croze Grayson for Christopher. Talk to us about rates and whether Christopher thinks that there is a market for a first-time home buyer anymore.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Rates are, they're in the fives. I'm not sure 100% what it is today, but definitely
Mid-fives.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
mid-fives. You've seen, it's
With good credit.
Yeah, yeah. It's been actually interesting. So I have clients of mine. We were under contract. We started looking in the fall, and they were at about 3.5, and then they got locked in at, I think it's 5.25 or something. So it's just crazy how much it's changed in like a 6 to 8 month period. Is there a first time home buyer market? Oh gosh, I think. Ooh, man, that's a tough question. I feel like there is a yes. I think it's a yes because I think we can still take clients to certain places knowing the price ranges. Like I think Lake Monticello has still always been a go-to for mine if people, depending on where they work and what they want to do. However,
We're now 3+ at the lake.
yes, but and this market is the inventory is not helpful for first-time home buyers. I think that's the tricky part is because there's not a ton of inventory to be able to show people, as well as a lot of first-time home buyers. They're potentially my age. You're a millennial, maybe you're a Gen Z working into the market, and depending on where you're at, you just graduated college, you just started a career, you don't have a ton of money sitting in the bank, so you have a harder time. You have a great offer and you're probably financially fine. However, going against other people that have 20% down or more cash to be able to give, it's super tough for that first time home buyer to really compete. In a different market, I think easily could get a house. It wouldn't be a problem. But right now it's tough. So I don't know that this really is a first time home buyer market.
But there's ways to win, and we're going to
Absolutely.
we're going to tackle them on Monday.
Yeah.
A little bit on the Monday Real Talk show, but perseverance is the big issue at this point right
Yes.
now, and just keep on trying, get your trusted advisors. The whole purpose that I wanted to have this conversation between the real estate side and the insurance side of it, and wanted to go down this $300 or $200 or $150. Could make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
And if you're saving me $300 on insurance, I can maybe offer a little bit more, right? Because this comes to a monthly payment that I'm more comfortable with to make you a little bit more competitive in it. But I actually think, this is a great question. As we talk about all the time, we're about 47% of the market is millennials, which is our first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
It will go over 50% this year. This time next year, it will be over 50%. So we have to come together as an industry, as a team, to figure out how we can help these folks buy homes.
Oh yeah.
Great take right there. So Christopher Eagle, where is the first-time home buyer market?
Meaning where are they buying
Yeah.
or wherever they can find a house?
Depends on the budget.
Yeah, I've got one couple. We've kind of been stretching around Scottsville, Lake Monticello, Kent Store, Louisa. She's a nurse at UVA, so we're trying to keep the distance, I think, 30 minutes or less if we can. I think most first-time home buyers that I've been working with, we are a solid 15, 20, 30 minutes from Charlottesville. Pushing out Ruckersville, Greene County to Zion's Crossroads, Louisa, Fluvanna. I only have one first-time home buyer that's kind of looking around in the city of Charlottesville, kind of at some of the smaller townhouses or condos, and that's because of their job. Other than that, I think every other first-time home buyer I've looked at, we're 15 to 30 minutes away from
We
the
were
town.
talking in the beginning of the show about apps and phones and all this stuff. And Christopher, how are you using, and I'm going to go here, how are you using the Coming Soon feature to help your first-time home buyers?
Well, I mean, from my standpoint, we see that it's coming soon, so we're able to, talk to it about with my buyers, and then we just see if it works or doesn't work, and then we try to be one of the people to be able to see it first. And
How have you navigated this market as a buyer's agent?
A box of tissues, a bottle of bourbon, and
That's for you, not for the client.
yes, that's only for me.
for
Yes,
you.
that's only for it. I mean, really, I think it's just setting the expectations for our clients. It's a lot of coaching and it's a lot of hand holding. The one buyers I have, thankfully, we're under contract after the 9th house that we have made offers on.
So talk about that process from 1 to 9. How did that go?
I mean, it was rough waters for a long time. But really, I mean, we started the search in the fall, and from the beginning, I said, look, the market is tough and it's crazy. It's not that we can't find you a home, but you're just going to have to buckle up and be ready to go.
And I'm here with you.
And we're here. We're going to make it happen. And the other thing too is that you also don't fall in love with every house we look at, and don't fall in love with every house you make an offer on. And then also, it's kind of the old phrase of expect the worst, hope for the best. And we'll make the best offer that we can on the property, and that fits them the best for their situation, but to be super competitive. And it was a conversation over and over again of, we want to make an offer on this property, so let's do it. And then, we struck out and we don't win. And the best thing that I would always tell them is, look, somebody else was more desperate for that property than you were, and they had more cash. It's just how it happened, and we will find you a house, and one will come. It's just going to take longer than normal. If we were looking last year or the year before.
The buyer clients I'm working with, I'm finding when they lose something, the deflation is less. Like the emotional
Yes.
deflation is less. They go, okay, fine, let's keep on going.
Exactly,
Right?
yeah.
And I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, what I've been finding out lately is they missed out on house A, but they found house 9 and actually liked house 9 better
Yes.
than house 1. Did that happen in your case?
Absolutely, yes.
So talk about that for a second.
Well, yeah, so I think, it was, I would say the first 1 or 2 to 3 houses was a little bit of disappointment. And then really it got to a point of like, hey, you didn't get it? Like, whatever. Like, we'll go to the next one. And then I think it's almost, I don't know if it's you've made so many offers that have either come to the conclusion that like the house that you've won, like the skies have opened up and this is actually it, or it really is just those feelings of like, no, this house is better. We like this house a lot. We're super happy that we did win this house and we got this house under contract, and this is the one that we're going to buy. So I think, if you compare all the different houses, then, the one that they have found somehow has worked out that it is potentially better than half the houses that they were going
It's been my
after.
experience when you hit that 8th, 9th, 10th, and you finally win it, the conversation comes from, well, I really like this better than the first one we lost.
Yeah.
So that goes back to this patience thing, right?
Yes.
And it'll come around.
Oh, yeah.
Does
when you
market
finish.
volatility impact your business at all? Talking stock market volatility, guys. No?
No. I think that's it does on the financial services piece, which we do. It's financial advisor, that sort of thing. But I have great referring partners for that. Now, obviously, with home buying or cars or those sort of things, my clients that are like, hey, I just bought another RV, or hey, I just bought this, I just bought that. That's kind of dictating. That's generally where some of that stuff comes from. But yeah, not much, if at all. At least that I know of. It may for them, but not. I don't know that.
How about you, Christopher? You hearing anybody talking about this? I mean, yesterday was the worst day we've had in over 2 years.
I mean, I don't know that it messes, at least with the people that I'm working with. I know I have some people, friends and clients that are definitely big into investing and doing different things, but it doesn't, that what's happening on their end of the stocks is not affecting them of buying a house or selling a house. So, I mean, I guess it could affect us, but I don't see it too much.
So
on our end.
I've been through this for 35 years. You know what I normally see when this starts happening? You start seeing more buyers back in
Right.
the market.
Yeah.
Right? They're now looking at real estate a little bit more than they were looking at it. So it becomes even more complicated
Yeah.
for the first-time home buyer, because you've got these investors that are saying, okay, I'm going to go buy dirt now. I'm going to buy, real property
Yep.
and diversify a little bit more than they were. I'm seeing a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but just a little bit of that.
Josh, are you seeing, this question's come in, are you seeing a lot of retired people with 2 cars go down to 1 car and make this decision due to the pandemic or being on a fixed income? They're not using the vehicles as much?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's and that's the big question. Hey, Josh, can you take this car off my policy? Great. Did you replace it? No, we just need one now. And it's whether it's they're being smarter about funds or it's been sitting or gas or like you said, fixed income. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that for sure.
As the senior member at the table, what happens when you get to that point in your life? You just don't need 2 cars.
Yeah.
Right. And
You're
even
either
though-
going everywhere together or you're individually.
Well,
or you're
Yona and
just-
I work together all the time, but
Yep.
we actually plan our day out, our week out. Okay,
Nice.
we only took 1 vehicle in today. A lot of it, at $4 or $5 a gallon. It's also very
That'll
helpful.
do it too.
Yeah.
This is from an agent for Christopher. With time for each client, losing out on homes due to multiple offers, do you feel you're making less money over the last 6 months with additional time and gas that adds to your overhead?
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, it is a harder battle right now. If I just compared last year to this year, I mean, it's totally different. I feel like I've done a ton of driving since, probably January or the beginning of February to make offers, to lose out, and then get back in the car to drive someplace else. And then, yeah, gas prices going up. I cringe when I have to go to the gas station. I went to Costco the other day, but $48 to fill my car up, and I have a Hyundai Sonata. And I almost wanted to kick the freaking gas thing because of how much it
I'd
is.
love to fill
but-
up my tank for $48.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. But
You
still,
know.
it's relative.
Well, yeah, I
it is
mean, yeah,
relative.
it
He's
is.
putting a
It's-
ton of miles on.
Yeah, I mean, it
Well,
is.
and then the
And
important
it's-
part of it is that, in our trade, right, we don't get paid until if we find a buyer and close. So this
Exactly.
is money that you're spending, out of
Yes.
your operational side of things.
Oh yeah, it feels like I'm spending a lot more than I'm receiving based off of how much we have to show, how many offers we're writing, and I mean at this point, I feel like I've written the same offer and contract 57 times, so it's
Well, the reason that is the volume has dropped year over
Yeah.
year, quarter over quarter. There's 30% less homes selling in our car footprint now
Yeah.
than it was this time last year. So, that's part of the
Oh, yeah.
equation there.
What's so multiple agents have asked, what's the longest drive you've done for a showing?
I've done, over an hour. I've done so from my house to certain places it's over an hour. If I go deep into Green, it's definitely over an hour because I live in Troy, so it can be a far ways. Or deep south, you get down to Scottsville isn't too bad, but you get down to Buckingham, it gets a ways. So yeah, I'd say it's been over an hour to show properties sometimes.
Would you co-list with a house that's deep or far away from you?
Co-listing, if it's outside of car or?
Well, no, if it's like you're in Troy, if something's coming up deep in Green, would you consider co-listing that?
No, I'll take it.
Yeah. So, but if it's outside of a certain thing, you would do is you would refer it out, right?
Yeah,
so if
absolutely,
it's
yeah.
a 2-hour drive or something like that. But what Jerry's point is 100% right. It used to be this time last year, 45 minutes. Now we're driving maybe an hour, hour and a half
Yeah.
to go in and do that. The second part of this, Christopher, is are you seeing Northern Virginia agents in your neck of the woods? And talk about that for a second.
With different contracts.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so
don't- yeah. We got
But
enough
if they're on
time.
our turf, they should be using the car contract.
that's a different ballgame and story.
They're saying, no, we're not, we're going to use this contract?
Well, as a listing agent, you can request that they do fill it out on our contract, the VAR 600, which is the standard form
Yeah.
that you get. So yeah, we can certainly
Boilerplate.
request that. Yeah, because our seller needs to be able to understand it just as much as we do, because I don't know what the heck they do up there. But yeah, so I have a listing in Troy, and I just had an agent from Lynchburg show it,
Yeah.
and I've had an agent from Richmond call me, and then when we were first on the market, because we actually just came back on, I had 1 or 2 agents from Northern Virginia come down and show the property as well. So there's a lot of Northern Virginia agents trickling down here, and I'm probably partially because of inventory.
Well,
and
that's pretty much
clients.
what it is. But
Yeah.
to Jerry's point, 2 years ago, You know, that agent from Northern Virginia would have called somebody from our office and say, I want to do a referral, give me 25% of
Exactly.
it. Then you take your that client and go ahead
Yep.
and go show it. That is not the case anymore.
Nope.
So from our perspective, you know, just to put it a little bit into Josh's world, you know, we are competing against 1,000 agents, whatever it is in car. We're
Like
competing.
1,300 in car.
1,300. Wow.
Yeah, but not all, that's members. They're not all agents.
Okay.
There's about 1,000 real estate agents
Okay.
in it. But because you know, Josh can be a member of CAR. But now we're competing against folks coming out of Northern Virginia, Lynchburg. Did you see that in your line of work?
I think a little bit. I think, look, we know that Charlottesville is a very insurance-driven and realtor-driven town, period. There's a ton of insurance agents. There's a ton of realtors. The good part, and I don't know for you guys, I know you guys have a certain territory CAR. For me, it's the entire state. So whereas I can have an agent, or, you know, somebody in Ruckersville may have an agent that's in Northern Virginia because they used to live there and they didn't move it locally. You know, we can write the whole entire state.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing a little bit of that. You know, who's your agent? Well, it's somebody in Lynchburg. It's somebody at the beach. It's somebody in Northern Virginia. But as far as coming in to compete, it's really the local piece that's a competition, I guess, for us, because there's great agents and there's horrible agents on you guys' end and mine. There just is. So it's a matter of trust with folks and in shopping local.
Well, it's an interesting debate to have, because technically we're supposed to be, if we're on the buy side, we're supposed to be experts in the area that we're selling, right? So I find it hard from somebody from Northern Virginia.
Yeah, but who's enforcing that?
Yeah, that's
No
the,
one.
That's the 60. Used to be a show, right? The $64,000 question. I'm dating myself.
And what would the enforcement even be? Slap on the wrist?
Yeah, well, we're not going to go. We're not going to go down that road at this point. I've got too many CAR people, board members watching the show on a regular basis. But yeah, that should be something we should tackle. It's, to me, I think it's an ethics thing, but that's just my personal opinion on that. I think it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, because I do not see this balance going from a seller's to a buyer's market. We're nowhere near that anytime soon. So it's just a reality of it. The way around it is just to do the conversation we're doing here, offer some outstanding service, and that'll always win out.
Yeah. And we have it too. I mean, it's for me, if I'm going to write a house in Northern Virginia, I would want my client, I would want them to, for me to, Josh, do you even know where I live? I can pull it up online, I can pull it up on Zillow, I can pull it up on Google, I can do all of those things, but do you really know the area? I'm not going to turn the business down, but I'm going to do some research on my end of the area, of the house, of the property, so that they understand that I haven't just said, hey, here's my address,
Yeah,
hey, here's the coverage
but the
you need.
cost to put a roof on Northern
True.
Virginia versus a
True
cost
story.
here is very
True story.
different, right?
True story.
So that's impacts it. So that's where the expertise comes in.
Absolutely.
You need to understand the market that you're in.
For sure.
Fellas, how about some closing thoughts here? Christopher, why don't we start with you on the market? Guidance, advice, what you want to offer to the viewers and listeners?
You know, if you're looking at buying, just go ahead and jump in the old pool of buying, with interest rates, and then just buckle up and just persevere. And you know, you can find a house. It's just going to take a number of houses to get there. If you're selling, it's still a great time to sell. And yeah, I mean, that's what I would offer.
But I think the multiple offers are decreasing a little bit. Would it be a fair statement?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so instead of being 20 or 10 or 12 or whatever, it's more of a I can't believe I'm saying this, more of a manageable number,
Yes.
right, on that end of it, versus back a few years ago, please bring me an offer, right?
Yes.
On that
Oh,
end
yeah.
of it.
How about you, Josh? Message for the community.
Oh, I would say get yourself an insurance agent. I honestly would. I mean, that's that professional piece that a lot of people lose sight of. Get somebody that's going to go over your policies with you, go over your coverage, talk about your kids, talk about your family, talk about life insurance. A lot of insurance agents don't talk about life insurance. I love life insurance, especially for kids. I would say get yourself an insurance agent and trust them. Let them, you interview them. You interview realtors, we can interview Chris, you can interview a couple realtors. People do that. Hey, what can you offer? What can you do? I would say do the same thing with an insurance agent. It's not just about the quote, it's about the relationship. But I would most certainly say go get yourself an insurance agent. Don't try to do it by yourself, because you're going to have a pitfall. You're going to have a lapse in coverage, and it's going to cost you.
Great take. Keith Smith.
Gentlemen, thank you, particularly Josh. I learned a lot today. I had some quick notes on some questions, and you filled the gaps on them, so thank you for coming in. Give a little plug for, now it's not this Saturday, but next Friday before we...
Next Saturday.
Next
week after
Saturday,
tomorrow.
yeah. So next Saturday, May 14th, Stonefield, the Seville Classic Car Show, the first one that we're doing. So watch us get the kinks out, but also come check out some awesome cars. I think we have everything.
It's gonna be
from,
awesome.
Dodge Viper to classic Mustangs to
Any little thing you can tell, any special car that you know is going to be there, or you don't want to drop a hint?
Well, I mean, for sure, as long as they can make next weekend, there is a Dodge Viper that's going to be there, and then there is also a '69 Dodge Super Bee. So that'll be there.
Is that the one with the... What's the one with the tail across the top and the rear end of it? Is that the Super Bee?
Yes, the Super Bee does, depending on which one you have. That one has a Plymouth.
That was the Daytona.
Yeah.
one.
I don't think we'll have any Daytonas. Those are pretty rare nowadays, but
We've got a CTS V
yeah,
wagon.
Yeah.
As rare as those are, the Cadillac CTS V
Yeah.
wagon, they're super cool. I think they make 1,500 or so.
So I shouldn't bring
per
my
year.
2017 Tacoma pickup truck there? Probably not.
I wouldn't bring the Tacoma pickup.
No, probably not.
But yeah, I mean, if you've got whatever you got, old, new,
Yeah.
muscle cars, classics, hot rods, bring them.
Well, I could bring myself. I'll classify as old, but
There
not
you
the-
go.
not
There you
the
go.
car end.
Yeah, and
We'll
then
take-
if you don't have a car, still come out, hang out.
Yep, I'm
Check out the
there.
cars, check out the people, talk to us. We just want to, of course, just build the engagement and raise funds for the Albemarle County Police Foundation and give back to them and to the.
Take donations too. If you don't have a car,
Yeah.
they'll take donations too. I think that's a great
Absolutely.
thing too. So if you don't have a car, which means you can't enter, that's fine. But if you want to do the donation piece, they'll be happy to take it too, which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Three great guys here, guys. You see what they're all about. Positive commitment to the community. Keith Smith, Josh Griffith, Christopher Eagle. Real Talk on a Friday. Judah Wickhauer is our director. The show presented by Yes Realty Partners. All the shows archived online at realtalkwithkeithsmith.com. Fantastic website, realtalkwithkeithsmith.com. Fantastic panel, Keith Smith.
Thank you, Jerry. As always, thank you for leading the conversation. You're outstanding. And
All
by
right.
the way, those numbers were awesome. I wrote them down somewhere. You should probably say them again. They were pretty awesome numbers.
Yeah, the network is booming, guys. The I Love Seville network is booming.
Yeah.
The I Love Seville show is up in 58 minutes, guys. We're going to have Catherine D'Souza and an athlete from the University of Virginia, a wheelchair tennis athlete going after a national championship on the show today. It should be pretty fantastic. Thank you kindly for joining us. We will catch you in 58 minutes. Take care. Work is going to tell us when the mics are